recently I saw a movie with Halle Berry. Halle Berry's first directorial debut. Um, and the movie's called Bruised, and it's a really good movie. And she did a really good job. And I wonder what made her decide to direct her own movie. Was it that the type of roles that she plays, she's looking to play a different type of role? Because in this movie, she played. You don't usually see her in this way. The performance was raw, and I like watching movies where the performance is raw, where the actors just let go and play the role where they think that person is. It's not like a Hollywood movie, where there's all this glamour. This movie, there wasn't glamour. It was just raw. It reminded me of Sylvester Stallone's first movie, Rocky. It had that feel to it, even though it was more raw than Rocky, but it had that feel to it where you're following this character that Halle Berry is playing, Jackie Justice. So we're following Jackie Justice as she's going through her life. So the movie starts out and she's in this ring, and I guess she lost the fight pretty badly. And then she doesn't fight for another 4 years. For some reason, she quits. And after she quits, she's just struggling. Her whole life is just struggling. And she drinks. She's a maid in some big house, and there's a conflict there. But basically, she's just struggling, and you just feel for this character because she plays it so raw. So it tugs at your heartstrings because you feel the struggle that this character is. She goes from an MMA fighter, and now she's cleaning toilets. And there's a scene in the beginning where, Hallie's head's almost in the toilet and she's cleaning. You just got to feel for her. And then you see her doing all this other stuff and cleaning. And it's interesting. She decides to get back into fighting. Some promoters meet her, almost trick her into getting into some fight. And she kicks this lady's ass, who's a beast. This lady is a beast. And she pisses off Halle. They get into this fight. Halle kicks her ass. And then they decide, well, they want to promote Halle to do this next fight. Think about these fight scenes. These fight scenes are good. I don't, if you're in a movie, you watch a movie, and if the fight scenes aren't good, especially if it's a fighting movie, it takes away from the whole movie. It takes away from it. And these fight scenes are good. I've seen Halle on Instagram, and I've seen her in the ring. It looks like she's boxing or something. And I thought it was just her exercise routine that she does, but she probably was just training for this movie. It looks like she did all her fight scenes. I can't tell if there's a stunt double. I'm sure there could have been, but to me, it looks like Halle was doing all her fights. She was in great shape. She was in great fighting shape, like a fighter would be. And again, that takes away from movies too. Like if you see fighters or people who do fighting scenes, but they're not in fighting shape, but they're doing the scene, but they're not in fighting shape, it just takes away from the movie. This movie was raw and so realistic that everything counted. So Halle Berry's in fighting shape, and then the people that she fought, they were in fighting shape and believable. They were believable that these people were tough. It just wasn't people fighting for the sake of fighting. They were believable. They were scary. They looked like they could kick ass, and they appeared like they could kick ass on screen. And again, I've seen so many movies where you have people fighting, but they're just stand-ins. They can't really fight. Like sometimes you'll see in Steven Seagal, who's a really good fighter, but some of the people he fights in his movies, they're just kind of stand-ins, and he just throws them all around. It just takes it away. And that's okay for some movies. That could be fun. But for a movie at this caliber where it seems so raw, it makes sense the way they did it, where these characters are believable. They're not stand-ins. they're fighters. I believe one of the ladies, if not a couple, were actual MMA fighters that Halle was with. So it was good. It was a good movie. She had a son in this movie, and his name is Danny Boyd, and he played Manny, and he didn't speak. He couldn't speak in the movie. He had lost his father early on. This is Halle Berry's son, and she hadn't seen the baby since it was born, and so the father was killed somehow, and so Manny was given to Halle, and I don't know what age he was at this time. I almost feel like he was 5, 10 years old. I'm not sure, but he played that role so good. He didn't speak, but he played it so powerful with his emotions and what he was doing. So that relationship they had just tugged at your heart. Even though he wasn't in her life initially, she accepted him in his life at this moment. And it just the relationship tugged at your heart. You knew immediately that there was a strong bond and love there between Halle's character and this kid Manny. So it was beautiful. And then you find out later, so Halle has a mother. There was issues with Halle's character and the mother. There was sexual abuse issues with the mother's boyfriends or uncles, but you don't find that out till later. But it gives you an in-depth look at why Halle's Bailey's character, what she struggled with, and what she had to overcome. So she's been out of the ring for 4 years. Now she's going to fight. She's got this son with her now, so she has to take care of the son. She also has a boyfriend. She's fighting with the boyfriend because the boyfriend doesn't get along with her son, so she moves out. And she's preparing for this fight. So she has all these things going on. And in the past, her character has been a runner. And now she's changing, growing, and making her character stay. There was a love interest in this movie, and it was very interesting love interest. It was between her and I'm not gonna be able to pronounce her name, but Sheila Atim. She played Bobby, and I don't know what the last name is, but there was the love interest in this movie was just beautiful. It was raw, which makes it beautiful. It was just raw. And they were getting to know each other. She's Halle Berry's character's trainer, so that's how they met. And she was this Bobby character was really good with Manny, teaching him how to meditate or stay calm during situations, whatever it is, problems that he had, fears that he had. And at the same time, she's coaching, helping Halle prepare for the next fight. But they developed this relationship, and it's a beautiful relationship because it's not like a Hollywood romance relationship. It's along the whole lines of this whole movie. It's just raw. That's what I liked about it. Halle eventually fights, to the end. She eventually fights. I'm not going to tell you what happens there. I don't want to spoil it for you. But the point I want to make is that Halle directed this movie. This is her first movie that she directed it. The fight scenes were great. The movie was raw. There was emotional tugs on the strings from when she got into the ring. It was emotional tugs. When she was practicing preparing, tugs on the heart. The relationship she had with her boyfriend, which she had broken up with, emotional. And then this relationship that she had with this other lady, her trainer. It's just emotional. Everything seemed to fit into place. But I'll tell you what I told my family. I give this movie a solid B, as in boy. It's a solid movie. I give it a B. And a B is a good rating. All the movies I've seen is good rating. And this is all the professionals, all the movies. People have years of experience of directing movies. And Halle, this is Halle's first movie she's directed, even though she has years of experience in the movie business. I give it a solid B. I I liked the movie. I liked the realism of the movie. I cared about the character. She was raw. She played it. The fight scenes were good. It didn't take away from the movie. The characters were all good characters. Didn't take away from the movie. Added to the movie. So, shout out to Halle Berry's movie. Really tickled. I can't wait to see what she does next. Thanks for listening.